I think from a data standpoint, given that I come from more on the engineering side, one thing is there's going to be a lot of data. The good part now is a lot of data is getting captured in the right way. Earlier, there used to be community interactions. There used to be event interactions. There used to be other forms of interactions in multiple levels. Ability to capture them itself was a problem. But even if you capture them, they were in large CDPs, which was in separate silos. Ability to bring them together in a timeline series or a telemetry form to say that, okay, this happened, then something else happened in parallel towards this, which happened. That's one thing is happening now. How AI can actually look through paths and patterns within this to say that of all the things which are happening, if you are a human and you are getting kind of like overwhelmed with the kind of data which you're seeing, I can sort this out and say that these are the things where you need to focus on. So, you might want to interact with people and you might want to have genuine interactions, but AI can help you actually focus on who you want to genuinely interact to.
Yeah, signal to noise. Yeah. Yep.
Signal to noise.
Yep.
And once you take that signal and with that artificial intelligence which gives it, then you can actually activate it in different forms. As you said, it's like, can you monetize that into revenue? Can you make that into something which is building trust in terms of like proper genuine interactions? Or can you also use that for a timing methodology? It is something like, how do you actually time your responses? How do you actually time this thing? Because nothing is something like which I want now immediately. It's always something like there are interactions happening. There are sometimes where peaks happen, where people are ready to buy or wanting to talk to and other this thing. And then you can build around that. I think it's a signal or converting the data into signals and signals into some form of intelligence and then build into the revenue. That can be the whole model over the next 10 years. And all this centered around the people so that people actually sift through the noise and this thing. That's something
I
which
don't
I'm thinking.
disagree with most of that. I mean, I think the big thing that's missing from that whole thing though is okay, great. You prioritized it, you sifted through it, you learned from it. It's like, okay, you got all the stuff. You got everything you need. What do the people do, and do they know how to do it?
Mm-hmm.
Education. It's we're talking way too much with this technology stuff right now. Like, okay, you gave me an awesome new technology that does all these things. How the hell do I use it?
It's true. And education can happen people to people. So it's more like it's not going to be possible to just preach to everyone. Would be more easier to preach through other people or like.
Yeah, I mean, look, like you need to do both, right? I learned this from David Cancel, the CEO, now executive chairman of Drift. It's never one or the other. Typically, it's always both. That's why I said there's two types of AI for me. There's different things you need to do. You have to like both like create the signals, but then you also need to understand how to use the signals. And like, look, you could have the best signals, but if you stink at using them in the context of sales, they are, I would argue, worthless.
I mean, you're going to be very, very inefficient.
So I think like that's the challenge for a lot of these AI companies is they're like so excited about the tech, but wait a minute. Like, first off, like there's still a lot of like hesitation, and will continue to be a lot of hesitation, especially at bigger companies, about like deploying this tech. People don't know how to deploy it, what they trust, who they trust, what they should or shouldn't do with it. I will give a massive shout out to the Marketing AI Institute. If you folks are listening and have not checked out the Marketing AI Institute, it is a must resource. Subscribe to the newsletter, listen to their podcast. They've been around since 2016, way before any of this noise over the last 10 months has come out. And they are teaching, they are educating, right? So I think that's what a lot of AI companies have to do. They have to think about how do they teach people the benefits, the consequences, the pitfalls, the hey, watch outs, around the AI technology they're building.